Hello, everyone, and welcome to Café New Canadians. Café New Canadians is where we discuss topics that matter to newcomers and those who are planning to move to Canada. We talk about all the issues that can help them settle down successfully and have a good time here. So today, as part of Café New Canadians, we will be talking about this topic, which is the immigrant business edge in Canada's small and rural communities. It is something which we need to be talking about because not just the big cities in Canada, there are so many places within Canada that offer so many opportunities for newcomers. But oftentimes people don't really know about these opportunities because they decide to just land in the more known, bigger cities and opportunities that they probably know about. So today, to be able to do that, we will be talking with some business owners. This session is brought to you in collaboration with our Immigrant Business Network, which connects immigrant entrepreneurs with information and resources that help them start, grow, and manage a small business in Canada. You can learn about all of that at the link. I'm Shruti Dargan. I'm the host for today's session, and I'm so pleased to welcome 3 business owners from different parts of Canada who will be joining us today. We already have 2 of them with us, and another person will be joining us soon. We have with us Rupali Sharma, Hitesh, Jagad, and Lili Krushel, all 3 business owners who will be talking about their journeys as well as their businesses. So very warm welcome to our guests and to all those of you who are joining us today. So Lili, let's, as I think we have the guests joining us, let me also tell everyone who's joining us that you will be able to ask questions. We would love for you to type those questions in the Q&A tab on Zoom or the chat box on YouTube, if that's where you're joining us from. Lili and Rupali, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good as well. So it's a pleasure to have you here with us. Lili, let's begin with you. Just so our attendees today would learn a little bit more about you, could you introduce yourself? Tell us, when you moved to Canada, where did you move from, if you'd like to share that, and what is it that you do today?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Lili. It's an honor to be on your show. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm originally from China. We moved to Europe when I was 4 years old. And in Europe, I lived most of my life. I never felt like home. When I was choosing university, my mom decided to send me to China because my Chinese was not the very best. So she wanted to brush up on Chinese language and culture. And I couldn't go to a normal Chinese school, so she sent me to a Canadian school. It was the first 2+2 program. So that means 2 years in China and 2 years in Canada. And that's how I ended up in New Brunswick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And since New Brunswick, I lived in Toronto, Calgary, Victoria, and now I live in the heart of Canada in Manitoba.
That's wonderful. So probably you will not just be talking about Manitoba, but also, your experiences of moving in so many places in Canada, and to be able to tell us that why you finally settled down in Manitoba, right?
Sure, of course.
Rupali, let's move on to you. If you could share a little bit about yourself, please.
So, hi, my name is Rupali. I moved from India in 2014. I got married here, so I moved with my husband over here. He's already living in Ottawa. So my experience as a newcomer to Canada is in Ottawa. So I live in a big city for almost like 7 years. And then I got a chance to move to a small town in Renfrew County. I did my bachelor's of technology in biotechnology from India, and moving over here, pursuing my own education and career is a big challenge sometimes. Finding the right path and career is a kind of like thing I'm looking into it. But apart from that, I start my life over here very nicely, and I'm blessed with 2 kids, and I got a chance to start my entrepreneurial journey in Canada in 2020, and in a small county, Renfrew County. So I have lots of you can say that experience moving from Ottawa to Ottawa Valley, and serving the Ottawa Valley in different regions now, learning the hardcore Canadian culture, I can say that which you can find in small towns. So I moved from India to Canada, the capital of Canada, Ottawa, So I moved over here and I lived almost like 6 years with my husband. And then I moved to Renfrew County to start my entrepreneurial journey.
And we'll definitely be hearing about more of that very soon. So Hitesh has joined us as well. Welcome, Hitesh. We were just getting around with a round of introductions. So nice to have you join us here. Could we hear a little bit from you about yourself? If you could tell us when you moved to Canada. We're just doing a round of introductions right now where you can share with us when you moved, where you moved from, and what is it that you do today?
Good evening, everyone, and my apologies that I'm not able to make it on time. Is stuck in traffic while coming back, so it was unexpected. Please accept my apologies. Myself is Hitesh, and I have came in Canada with my family as an PR application as an immigrant in 2004, September 2004, and I have a wife and I came with my son, wife, and myself. So we are three. Here now we are 4 people family because I have one daughter now too. So we are now 4 family, and at present we have an Indian restaurant in city of Guelph.
That's amazing. So while you shared you have a restaurant, let's also hear from the other 2 panelists about their businesses, because that's where people will be able to understand more about you, ask you questions. Probably there are people who are interested in starting a food business or starting something which let's have you share it. Lili, something, your business is quite interesting in the sense that it's a bed and breakfast. It's also an event space. There's so much to share. Could you tell us a little about it?
Yeah, of course. So we started Bella's Castle. It was a very organic venture. We first bought the house because my mom fell in love with the house, and she collects antiques, and this was a very big piece she wanted to collect. And it's 121 years old. It's very historical for Canadian standards. It's very beautiful. The grounds, the building itself. And we are a small family, so we only used 1 room and we only used 1 kitchen, and the rest of the house was completely empty. So we decided to open the doors for the rest of the world to also enjoy the building, and people started staying over at Bella's Castle. And after that, we did a grand opening and we did the red ribbon cutting, but everybody, when they read the newspaper, they just thought that it was a tea room that was opening, because our building looked really much similar to another house that was across the street, and they were a tea room a decade ago. So then we had to make a decision. Do we start a tea room business? Because it was, I had got so many phone calls about it. And that involved, we did a lot of renovations to make that happen. And then I met my husband, and he is from Morden, and we got married here at Bella's Castle in the backyard. And we thought, why not give that space to other couples too? And now we're primarily a wedding venue. It's a very niche market, and it's very special location because of historical value. And it's really fun to see so many beautiful couples get married and start their lives on our property.
That's so amazing to hear. And from what Hitesh shared and what you shared, you both have probably brought little parts of your own lives into your business in some ways. And so is the case for Rupali as well. Rupali, I know that you're a pet nutritionist as well. But did you have any prior experience in the field before you decided to start your business? Could you tell us a little about it too?
Yeah, so I own 2 pet stores. I initially bought like one in 2020. That is a long-standing business in Renfrew County in Petawawa. So when we came across this opportunity, we feel like we are pet lovers, like me and my husband and my family. So we feel like this is a right fit for us, as I had my educational background as an animal nutritionist. I did my bachelor's in that with my majors as an animal nutrition. And my husband has a long-term experience as in the retail world. So we feel like this is a right fit for us. And then after, we took over, we felt like I need to gain more knowledge, to serve my customers better. So I did my full certifications in as a pet nutritionist. So I did that, and this is really helping me in my business too, and I'm helping my community much better. Just after opening, one store, I opened another one. But as you say, like as you asked, like, do I have another prior experience? I worked as a quality analyst chemist. So I have all the technical, backgrounds regarding animal nutrition, what is good, what is not, what should we recommend or what not. So kind of like, if I talk about the science behind the nutrition, I have like full blown knowledge with it. And when I implement that knowledge in my store, it really helped out. I find like people are really, I'm able to help so many dogs in the community. When people came to me and say like, you saved my dog's life, that is everything for me. So I feel like the knowledge that I have and the experience that I have in the past, it really worked out. But plus cherry on the cake is like, I did my certifications in that. So that is really helpful in just buying the business and then expanding to another location. So it really worked out.
That's so nice to hear. I was just thinking, like, a pet business, a wonderful place to stay, and food. What else does one need as an immigrant in Canada, right? So, but of course, it isn't, and you will all, I'm sure, speak from experience here, that whatever you've been able to achieve today probably did not come easy or did not automatically fall in your hands, right? Maybe you had different plans when you arrived here. Maybe you started with something and then had to reconfigure how to kind of make things work. Hitesh, if I could hear a little bit from you about, this business that you have with your wife, about Indian food. How did this come about? Were there any initial challenges, or was this something that you wanted to begin?
Well, for me, I might be take them some time to explain how this is all happened. So we came in 2004 with a big vision that was just mentioned, that people comes with a different vision and different things, and they wanted to grow, and they have their own education and they want to grow in their own industry. So, which is the same way we came here, and we don't know where we're going to end up. So for my background, I can say I am a degree in Bachelor of Commerce, and my wife have a degree in Bachelor of Education. And I am also a multitask professional who have multi skills. So not just limited myself to just certain things. But the cooking is something which is not I'm trained for, neither my wife is trained for, which is like we don't know that we're going to enter in this industry at all. So this is like a very challenging phase for us, that how we're going to make this happen. So when the story started for us, that in 2008, when the financial recession happened in Canada, so I have lost my job, and that's put us in thinking. And my wife has only part-time, is she was working in a banking industry for the TD Bank. So that puts us in thinking that we have to do something to support our family as a secondary income. If this is Canada, and uncertainty always remain there, so we have to think something. So what first things comes in the mind, that at least to support the family, to bring the food on the table, we have to do something, because there is no income coming. And I just bought a house maybe in 6 months or 8 months before, and moved in a new home, and now I don't have job to pay the mortgage payment. So now you are in a very stressful situation. You need to do something that help your monthly bills is always there, so you have to make those payments. So we thought, okay, last start with the food business.
Yep.
So me and wife started a little bit with the food. Neither I am experienced, neither my wife experienced, but the feeling is that we able to make it because we have to do something to support our family,
sure,
to our life. So we started this business in 2008 in our home basement. So we make the basement officially, which is a public health approved. We not just started to cooking in home, we passed through the process to how we can make an public health approved kitchen, city approved kitchen, that we can people feel comfortable to get the food from you. So that was our beginning, that we start business without any knowledge of food industry, neither catering or no experience. This is totally blind decision to start something, and eventually we grow. And in 2012, we can say that we have our first opportunity while we visiting at the Guelph farmers market. When we were just there for the shopping, and we thought there was no Indian food available. That clicked me an opportunity, and I said, you know what, let ask if they have anything that can help us. And we have asked them, and they have allowed us to give us as a seasonal food vendor, prepared food vendor
Yep.
Opportunity. So we can go only for 6 months, and then we have to discontinue, because when all the farmers come back after the winter, they took the place and you are out. But after 6 months, we are lucky enough that we get an opportunity for the full-time vendor for continuously for 12 month whole season. In that one, we learn quite a lot. So it's not just a food market. So it's just a basically farmers market. For the process to learn the food, learn the people, learn the culture, which is a big challenges.
Yes.
And there we find and very good opportunity where the people are asking this question, which is very, very interesting for me to learn, and quite challenging for us as well, because they are asking that we are a dairy free people, we are a vegan, we are a gluten, I am a celiac, I am gluten free, I cannot have this, I cannot have that. So that's put me in a
Like there are
thinking.
business, yes, like
Yeah, so
challenges that are there in every
that's put us in
business.
a thinking that and we can say proudly today that we are the only one restaurant in Guelph, city of Guelph, that's run 100% vegetarian restaurant, with accommodating all those people who have a highly allergic.
Mhm.
But
If
the
you could,
process,
Hitesh, if I could ask you to just hold that thought there, because you're also kind of delving into the space which is about how the community reacted to your business, and that is something I'd like to come to in very shortly, because I'm sure that the other two panelists have similar stories to share, and we would. So sorry to interrupt, but
no worries. Good.
yeah, Lili, I could, if you could share a little bit about the initial response to your business as well, because what I'm trying to slowly get to is the whole idea of course, all three of you own businesses in smaller rural communities in Canada, right? And what we're hoping to achieve through this session today is, of course, learn about you, but at the same time, learn about the benefits of owning a business in a small community. And there are lots of benefits. So if you could share what the initial response, you shared that there was an initial hurdle, which was probably people thought it was a tea room that was opening up. Could you elaborate on that a little?
Yeah, of course. I would also like to expand a little bit on my journey in Canada. I first landed as a student. I did my bachelor's in business administration, and I was not sure what to do with that degree. I came out, I could go into finance, I could go into bookkeeping, I can do marketing. So that's what I did after New Brunswick. I moved to Toronto and did marketing in a TV station. It was really fun. And then I had an opportunity to move to Calgary. Calgary is such a booming city. There were so many opportunities. And I worked there as a bookkeeper, which was really not me. In our journey, some things we try out and we love, and some things we try out, and bookkeeping and numbers is not really me. But at that point, I was not sure that I did not know that this is going to come so handy. Then I did my master's in Victoria, which was, we did 3 semesters, and 3 semesters we changed continents every time. And I ended up in Hong Kong after that, doing events for Chamber of Commerce, for Canadian Chamber of Commerce. And that's where I learned my main 3 skills, I would say: the marketing, the bookkeeping, the events. And I brought all of that into my business. So that's where we get to have the special events, and we get to, I do my own bookkeeping. And I just want to expand on the idea of being in Canada. It's really nice when you learn different things and able to handle those things. You have your own bookkeeper, accountant who does most of the things, but knowing those things will be very handy when you're an entrepreneur. As a community, they really loved the idea of the tea room, because they miss that location so much. And we expanded the house itself is a little bit larger than a normal house, but it's broken into different rooms. So we had the challenge of having a small space and only being able to hold maximum 30 to 40 people. So we expanded to outside. We have the most beautiful patio in Morden. And that's where lots of people came and spent all their summer. So that response was great. And then we became a wedding venue. And when we first came to the biggest wedding show in Winnipeg, Wonderful Wedding Show, nobody knew who we are because we're obviously brand new, but it piqued everybody's interest by seeing the beautiful building. And I'm very, very fortunate for the community that we have here. People in rural communities are so kind. Same for New Brunswick, same for Manitoba. They're so willing to help and willing to support each other and businesses. I can't say enough about that.
Drawing from what you just said, I'd like to ask Rupali about this whole idea of, in a small community, there's trust within people, and it's not as probably, I'm just assuming, it's not very easy to get into a community where people probably know their local coffee shops and know their local businesses and are, on first name basis with them, probably hang out with them. So how easy or difficult was it for you to break into that market, to be able to create a space for yourself in a community like that?
It's a very tricky question you asked, though. Well, as you know, like in a small communities, as you yourself said, like, yes, people know each other, very well over there because it's a very close-knit community. I'm very lucky and a part of that I'm a part of Renfrew County, that people over there are, yes, they are very close-knit. They are very, they want to support local, and that helps us a lot because if you are running a business in a big city and over there people want to just do go, and they want to help, or they need something which is easy for them to go and grab. But in small towns or in small counties, the way to run the business is entirely different because people want to support the local businesses. People want to support, the family-owned businesses or family-operated businesses. And this helps us a lot because we are a family-owned business and a family-operated. When you are working on the floor 24/7, people saw that. And when people saw your dedication and hard work, the way you are putting, the hard work into your work, people definitely acknowledge that. And I am blessed that people, that I'm a part of Renfrew County where people, just recognize your work daily and appreciate you daily. And I'm in a business, it's pets, right? And who not love pets? So when because as like, I want to discuss something, why I am into this pet store business. There are other opportunities too that people can grab and easy to go. This is an entirely different market, or I can say entirely different business. When we buy this business, or when we bought it, we thought it just like a retail store. Most of the people, they feel like it's just a retail store where you can go and you can buy your stuff and you can walk away. But when we took over, we have a different vision. We want to serve the community the best and the better. And I want to introduce few things which are missing in normal stores. There are big boxes in the pet industry where you can go and you can find everything. But in a small stores, I want to bring that kind of stuff which is not available anywhere. So people in a small town have access of everything. Apart from that, when people walk into my stores, they can ask anything. If they have any question or any concern, they know where to go, and they know if they come to us, they can definitely have the answers. So yes, initially when we took over a long-standing business. The business itself in the market for 15 years. So the previous owners, they run it from 2005 to 2020, so 15 years. The most challenging part is to maintain that respect and that kind of reputation which is already in the market. We have some challenges. People feel like they are new, they don't know anything, they are young, how they can sustain, how they can prove themselves. But we, with our dedication and with our hard work, we prove them wrong. And now
slowly gain their trust.
Yes. And when we are helping our customers, or when we are doing our customer service, people just listen and they know the results. We have very good testimonials of different products people are using in our stores. Just in 1 year of business, we open up another location in the same Renfrew County. Along with that, in just 3 years of so far as an entrepreneur in that Renfrew County, we won number of awards. You name it, we won the Upper Ottawa Valley Chamber of Commerce as a best sales and service, excellence in sales and service. So these awards will boost your confidence. Whatever challenges you have, the way that people think, how you can do it, it will just, prove them wrong. And with your dedication, with your hard work, and with your confidence, you move forward.
Something that you said, and what sticks out to me is the fact that you created that opportunity for yourself. You saw that there was something missing and you filled that gap.
Yes.
Hitesh, you were talking earlier about doing something similar, right? You saw in Guelph, in your community, you saw that there wasn't really an Indian restaurant, or it was hard for you to be able to find Indian food that kind of, felt like home to you. And you created that opportunity, not just for yourself, but for so many other people. I talked to you earlier, if you would like to continue and tell us a little bit about, the initial response, like you said, through farmers market, if you were to come back to today, how your business is doing and what the response from the community is like, because you catered to their demands and requests as well by being inclusive to everyone's taste, everyone's requirements when it comes to dietary requirements.
So our experience was the farmer market, that is give us an actual experience of actual Canadian experience, you can say, because this is something is beyond to just a one community focused business. So now we are dealing with multiple people have multiple allergies, and what I learned from our food, the one thing I learned that our food is 100% vegetarian. There are many things that people have no idea, even the household people or the wife even don't know that this stuff is gluten-free or vegan or dairy-free, how you differentiate those things. So that I learned during the farmers market experience. And then we see in a complete different market that can lend us an opportunity to be open up a storefront in 2017, a full-fledged Kirtida kitchen, which is well received in a community. And we are the only one store who is specialized on customized food for person who have a different allergies. So in that case, I can elaborate a little bit more that we have people coming from the celiac, dairy-free, vegan, as well as the people who have a nuts allergy, as well as the people who is, we can say, lactose-free.
Yeah.
So what we have done to maintain the status or maintain their category, we have designed our recipes, we have made in our recipes, and we have designed our kitchen system to do not have any cross-contamination happen. So we can gain all the trust from the community, and they always preferred to any other restaurant. When you have allergy, please visit the Kirtida kitchen, because they are the only one going to give you the food which is not going to react.
Yes.
So that's what we gain, and Guelph is a very nice community. It's very.
Could you share a little bit about the community? Yes, because the whole idea of this session is also to be able to talk about these smaller communities. So in Guelph, can you tell us a little bit about your community and how the people were able to support you when you started your restaurant?
Yeah, so in Guelph is it's not a huge town. City of Guelph is like in about 150,000 population, and people are like very kind, very supportive, very disciplined, and always love to support a small business owner, which is a family-run business. And the biggest example I can share that when we opened the business, we were a brand new restaurant, but we were well received. But during the COVID, we have a biggest positive response that we have seen from the community, that we have seen many people coming to the door and they will ask us that we want to support your business because you are a family-run business and you need support from us. And we are not a dine-in restaurant. We are only takeout facility that we are lucky enough that we opened through the pandemic and we have survived. But during that time, what we have done for the community. So is it okay to take more time or you?
Sure. If you could keep your answer brief, though, however, because I'd like to get to the other panelists as well. So say about in 30 seconds.
Yeah. So when we hit the COVID-19 and everybody was scared, so we have same thing happen to us and our business fall back for 1 or 2 weeks. So that put us in thinking now how we can survive. So we are lucky enough that community supported, but what we did, we have take that COVID-19 pandemic as a challenge. For the challenge that this is an opportunity to give back to the community.
Yes.
So we have started to giving back to the community by donating some food who is in need. Lots of people have lose the jobs and they are sitting home. They're looking for help, and we have opened our door to help those people, as well as we start some donating food to the food banks or any communities who needed support. That was amazingly received by local community, and we have been honored by the city of Guelph mayor as a community hero of the community.
That's so wonderful to hear. That's so wonderful to hear. And you're talking about something which is so important, that it's not just the community that has given your businesses the support that you needed. It's also you as business owners, as immigrant business owners in the community that have made it your own and are giving back as well. Lili, if I could ask you, you started a space which is kind of, in a way, involves people's personal lives. You're bringing them together for a wedding or, for a family outing, for a stay like that. How has it been for you to mingle with the community? And probably if there are any specific challenges, I'm talking about cultural challenges. You, of course, are someone who's had a lot of experience moving about in Canada. So I'm sure you were able to get a good grasp on, the culture here. But were there any challenges as someone who probably had moved to Canada and was starting a business?
To be honest, yes, in my life, I moved many cities and many countries. At one point, I think I've calculated on average every 2 years I move a city. But I never felt more like home than Canada. I speak fluent Russian, but even with that, I was never accepted in where we lived in Estonia. In Canada, everybody is so welcoming. They're so used to new immigrants coming and bringing their culture and their lives here. And that's one of the beauties of living in a small community. I believe when I moved to Toronto, when I moved to Calgary, I'm just one of the many, many, many people that are coming. Or in Vancouver, I think they're even slightly disliked that there's so many new immigrants. But being in a smaller community, your talents are very valued. Your talents are very celebrated. If you have dedication and passion, people see that. And it feels very nice to be valued. That's and I was able to make a lot of great friendships here. When you were saying what were the hardships in this journey?
Were there any mistakes that you made early on which you were able to perfect soon after?
I would say as an entrepreneur, my mistakes was hiring based on credentials. For chefs especially, sometimes you look for the Red Seal chef, you're looking for experience, and that is actually not everything. A lot of that comes with a lot of arrogance, and so now I'm hiring based on what's most important, what's in their heart. So even if they have very little experience, but if they have the right personality in customer service, then that would be more important. So that would be my major mistakes, I would say, in entrepreneurship.
Rupali, coming to you, I am kind of modifying the question slightly. I'd also like you to talk about the competition. One of the benefits, if one can call it, in a small community is less competition as well. You know, for a business that you're starting out, you stand out as a business. You're able to get in more customers. Could you talk a little bit about that?
So yes, it's rightly said that, you know, in small communities, you might have the chances of less competition. But as everybody know, like every community is now evolving and, you know, expanding. So you definitely gonna have more competition coming up your way. But the only thing which matters the most is how you perform, right? In a competition, you're gonna have big boxes, like you have chains, like in my field, like you have Pet Values, you have, you know, Walmart is a bigger competition. You have other small businesses too, which act as a kind of like a competition threat to you. But if you are dedicated and if you have self-confidence in you, and if you know like what you are doing is right for the community, and you know like what you're putting out in the community is right for the pets, or if you're in other business, you know, you will succeed all of the competitions. So if someone is looking into a fact that, you know, in smaller communities you will find less competition, yes, to some extent that's right. But as the communities are evolving and growing now, you might see, you know, more competition is coming your way. But if you're dedicated and if you are hardworking, if you have self-confidence in you, and if you are a community minded person, that is very important, you will succeed. Doesn't matter how the competition is around you. So
Sure.
these things you have to keep in mind while moving to a small communities, that people over there, as I say, like are very close knit and they're very together. And if you are a community minded person, if you're giving back to the community, which is very important, you will succeed in your venture.
For sure. You know, something that also kind of is common between the three of you, I'm hoping, is you have, of course, created a space for yourself through your businesses, but you're also creating more employment opportunities for others,
Yes.
right? As irrespective of whether one is an immigrant entrepreneur or not, as a business owner, as someone who owns a business there, you're, of course, creating employment opportunities. Hitesh, if you could share a little bit about, you know, right now, I know that you have a takeout option available, but how has it been? Probably were there any kind of internships that you offered to the community members, or how has it been for you?
So for business wise, this is a takeout business, and mostly we run by the family. So we don't have any full-time chef. So
Okay.
me and my wife, ourselves a cook, but we learn ourselves. Nobody have teachers. That is, whatever we have today is our own skill and our own developed skill. We also hiring a people, but we are looking at the perspective while learning, because we have done the same mistake as Lili has done in past, that we hiring the people, but what we learned from our experience or offering the job opportunities or the internship to anybody, that we want the people who wants love the kitchen, who have a passion of cooking. Because to running a restaurant, just a takeout restaurant, we feel it's a quite a huge job compared to the dining restaurant. So there is a huge another responsibility come to you. So while what we learned from our experience of 5 years full-time takeout restaurant, that the person who wants to do a work or wants to do an internship or want to become a chef must be dedicated to the kitchen and must love the food, must understand what you are serving. Because what we doing it here, that what we cook, and we have made our own policy this way, that if I am not going to eat this food, how my customer going to eat? That's a simple policy we follow, and that's made us a success, right? And that's the thing we want to see. If we are hiring any internship person, we don't want person to just come and go. We want them to be in it. Then it works out.
I can only imagine, as business owners, it's hard to find someone who shares or who has more passion about this business than you, right? Lili, how has it been for you?
For me, we were seasonal business. Bed and breakfast part runs all year round, but the weddings are mostly outdoors in the summertime. That's when we have the more space. So our number of employees ranges from 6 to 25, and throughout the years, I'm gaining more experience and now we're gaining a really good core crew. So it's really great to create a team. And now I learned that whenever actually localjobshop.com is probably not the best avenue to hire anybody. What I learned this year is when I tap on the shoulders, hey, I met you at this, we volunteered together at Winterfest, and you are great at decorating. You have the skill and talent. Do you want to work with me? And when I bring people in like that, through my other life, and actually my other position in life is events coordinator for the city of Morden, then I create this beautiful team that are passionate about their niche, and together they just create, I would say, magic.
Yeah. Rupali, how's it been for you?
So yeah, as like when we took over, as I say, like the business we took over is already existing. So when we took over, we have 4 employees. So till date, I have 16. So yeah, it's truly right that, employment opportunities as an immigrant business owner, as just as a business owners, we definitely help a lot in the economic, side of the town or for the county. Employment in small communities is a challenge for sure. Finding the right people to do the right job is definitely, a biggest thing to achieve. In my space, as we need people who not just love pets, but who has knowledge, regarding the products, we train too, but they should know more about, the technicalities behind it. So definitely that is the biggest challenge we have right now, that we have people who want to work, but they don't have knowledge. We can train for sure, but it's like you have to be dedicated, towards the work. Our stores are known for the best, customer service. And when people walk in, they need a deep depth knowledge regarding everything for their pets. So finding the right people is definitely a challenge, but we find people, we train them. And that's why we have a biggest team of 16 so far.
Something that Lili, you mentioned earlier was a little bit to do with networking. Now, of course, for any new immigrant to Canada, networking plays a huge role, whether it is getting to know your neighbors, whether it is, if you're starting a business, finding the right people for it, finding the right customers for it, or, if you're just looking for employment. So whoever would like to answer this question, I'm trying to understand how networking within the community helped you in your business. And specifically, it was a plus for you that you were in a community that is tight-knit. Smaller communities are known to be more tight-knit than, say, larger cities where, everyone's probably minding their own business, or there's just way too many people to be connecting with. Who'd like to take this question?
I say that here that networking is very important thing when you are in a business. But networking is not it's not exist unless you create it. So when you are in a business, you should know who are your customers and how you create that network to establish yourself. So you have to look for it, because you have to think beyond yourself, because you don't want to keep yourself limited to a certain targeted audience or customer or clients only. You have to go above and beyond to reach those people who are existing and they looking for your support, or they need you. You have to bring them together. So as much as you can do your social marketing, or you can use a social media platform to make you success, to create your network, you have to enter in certain groups, you have to visit certain groups, you have to go in certain community events, or you have to be part of that event, or you have to attend certain multicultural festivals to find those network. and then you will see once you are hooked up to those network, it is automatically grow by itself. You don't have to work for it, but initial stage you have to find a right networking to grow your business.
You're so right, Hitesh. And especially in a smaller community, I feel like the word of mouth publicity goes a long way, right? If you have 3 happy customers, they will bring in 30 more customers. And that's just how it goes. There was a question that we received, or before I move on to the next question, Lili or Rupali, did you want to maybe answer that as well?
Well, yeah, go ahead. Lili, you want to say something? Yes.
On top of on the subject of networking, I find it very great to be a part of community events. When you volunteer at community events, you're finding like-minded people, and that creates a really great community. But also through studying, I love the fact that I was able to do my education, part of my education in Canada. But even after I finished all my degrees, every year I take new classes. They may be a smaller 4 months or 3 months classes, but then you're expanding your new skills, and you're creating a new different circle of friends. Last year I did filmmaking through New York Film Academy, and this year I'm doing photography, and that all helps in my business and personal life, and and then plus you got the new community.
So you continue to don many more hats as a business owner, right?
Not enough hats.
Yeah. Rupali, there was something you wanted to say.
Yeah, I must say, like, networking is for sure like important if you want to succeed in your business, because with networking you bring different platforms at the same level. If I say, like, for my business, we do have different organizations in our county who dedicated towards the pets. So different rescue groups, different charitable organizations who are just solely working for the welfare of animals. So we connect with them. We do different different sort of festival, like, events with them all year round. We do donations, or we run different sort of fundraising events for them, and then it helps us to connect with them and looking for deeper demands in the community, what the community looking for. And it's the best way to connect to different people and letting them know what you're doing, what is your ideology for your business, and how you're going to help them. So I must say, like, networking is for sure like important if you want to grow. And if you want to be a part of the community, that is the best thing.
Especially as a newcomer, because you're creating a name for yourself. And there's something that people say over here, that it's not about who you know, but it's about who knows you in Canada, right?
Yes.
People should be able to vouch for you when you're talking about employment or your own business.
Yeah. So I must say, like, during the networking, you are able to explain yourself the much better way to the other people. And being an immigrant or being a newcomer to that particular county, I've been living in Ottawa for 7 years before going to Renfrew County, but I don't know anybody over there. So networking is the best way to let the people know exactly who you are and what is your way of doing the business, or how you think about the community. So I feel like networking is for sure the important thing if you want to succeed, or if you want to grow yourself as an individual. Yeah.
There's something. So before, for all those people who registered for this session, we had asked them if they wanted to submit any questions, and we received a few, some of which you've already answered. But something that we haven't really discussed so far is a question that was about, what is it that you think, and this is to all three of you, what is it that you think you would have missed out had you not started a business, or were you not living in a smaller community? If the same business, if you could imagine that in, say, another city with far more footfall or more people, what do you think would be of course we've discussed benefits, but what would you miss out? What would you lose? Rupali, let's start with you.
So yes, as everything has pros and cons, right? So if you are doing if I consider myself, if I have a business, say, in Ottawa, which is like a population size like 10 times more than the Renfrew County itself, you can have more footprint, you can have more business, you can have more people walking your doors every day. But I feel like I will not enjoy the time that I spend in my business right now I'm doing, because I am connecting with my customers one-to-one. I have time to personally answer their queries, or to have a personal relationship with my customers, which make me happy. So if I say, like, in order, if I missed out something, obviously it's gonna be more people, it's gonna be more footprint walking your doors. But the thing which sets everything apart is the personal happiness and is the satisfaction. So you will get more. I feel like I'm more satisfied in a small community or doing business over there. I'm very much satisfied. Why so? Because I'm having a direct relationship with my customers. I know them by their name. So, and in that way, I have a trust and I have that relationship, which I think I can't make it in a big city, because people over there just come and go. Nobody has that much time. And population wise, it's a huge number. So you don't have time to talk to anybody. So that's the thing I feel like I missed out. Apart from that, living in Renfrew County is amazing. It is serving all your needs. It is a very safe community to live in. It has beautiful landscapes. You can, if you are tired working out in your stores, you can go and relax in the nature. And yeah.
That's nice to hear. Hitesh, coming to you, what do you think would you want to highlight about Guelph, and what do you think you would have missed out if you were to have the same business somewhere else?
Before I can say, let's say if I have my business in a bigger city, for a sake example, let's say the Brampton, which is a well-known city for maximum migrant South Asian living in that city. But the same thing happened, that I might have not learned many things about the Canadian culture, the food industry, that the people coming with the different allergies, I might have not explored an idea what is vegan and what is gluten free. I didn't even learn those ideas, what ingredient we have that can fill their need. So I probably completely missed out those part. For the part of the business perspective, I might be get more financial support in a bigger city compared to a smaller city. But it's end of the day, you need to have a satisfaction. I will not be satisfied by just serving the food, but I wanted to really connect it to the community, because business runs based on community, right? And in Guelph, what I'm enjoying it, we have a very nice community, and I know all one-to-one customers. And you might be surprised that I have 70% customers. I have seen them every week. They're always coming there. So I know them by the name. I am connected with them. We have a chance to talk with them 5 minutes or 10 minutes. They always stay there. So you will feel that connection. They like to talk with you. So if I am in a bigger city, I didn't have that one.
Yeah, that personal connection. Yes.
Yeah. So personal connection we will be missed out when you just doing a business. That's it. You are not connected with them. And once you are not connected with them, you will success, but you are not satisfied by yourself, whatever you are doing. And while in a smaller community, you are attached to the community knows you, and you will be success, and you are connected to them, and you will enjoy it. And Guelph is the best place. I can say it is well known, and it is, I think, get us rank 7 for the family grow here. So it is a most well-known city, and very supportive, very safe, and nice town that we have.
Yeah. The personal connection, the whole idea of being able to be with the community seems to be the larger sentiment. Lili, anything you wanted to add to that?
For me, yeah. So like I shared a little bit before, that I am an entrepreneur, but also I work for the city of Morden. The first 5 years, I actually didn't work for the city. I worked for the college, and I taught marketing, business classes, economics. And I really loved that, where I could connect with students and share my experience and knowledge, and also have my own business on the side. And I think I would not have been able to do that if I was in a bigger city, because the expenses are higher. I'll have more pressure, and we would have to have more weddings in order to make a business work. But here I can choose the pace of how many weddings we host. Last year we hosted 30 weddings. This year that was a bit much for us. This year we're hosting about 20 to 25. And I'm still able to work for the city and create community events that other people can come, seniors and kids. So the fact that I can be creative and give back to the community in a larger way, I think I would have missed out on that. Then I would just, yeah. Although if I was in a bigger city, I probably would have been able to have a bigger pool of employees. I probably would be able to find a good manager or wedding planner who maybe could take my space, but it's always hard to find somebody who can take your spot.
Yeah. Even if you do, are you willing to really, lose that control and let someone share that passion with you?
Yeah. If somebody is talented, we actually are looking for somebody who could manage this place or somebody who could want to operate their own business. We are for sale.
So this is very much a call out for applications as well then. In a couple of minutes, so we will be ending this session, but not without learning, that one last tip that you would want to share with the audience. For all those people who are joining us today and probably are hoping to be able to start their own business one day, maybe have ideas, maybe are inspired by our stories and would like to start something similar. What is that one piece of advice or motivation that you would like to share with them before we close? Rupali?
I must say, like, if you are planning to become an entrepreneur or running your own business, choosing a small town is, yes, it is a bit challenging, as Lili said before, like, employment perspective wise. But I must say, like, it is a very nice way to start yourself, because you have very good support from your community. You have, I can say, like, you have full chances to grow as much as you can. And if you are dedicated, if you know if you know yourself, and if you have self-confidence in yourself, and like what you want to do and what is best for you and for the community, you will definitely succeed. Small communities offer you a lot. There are very good scope of growth, and they provide you massive opportunities, whether it's a personal, like, you have personal connection, networking with the people you can find easily in small communities. If you want, like, help from the city or from the town, they are there for you forever. Whether you need any information on different programs run in different, I like in Renfrew County, there are 4 different parts. So City of Pembroke, Town of Perwawa, they're very helpful. So if you need any sort of information, you just send them an email. They're right away over there to help you. If, as I say, like, you should be dedicated in yourself, you know what you want to do. And if you have self-confidence, these small communities has lots to offer. It's a better place to raise you and your kids, if you have, and your family. So you can just be confident, motivated, and people always, dream of going to bigger cities, or where they have more opportunities. But I must say, like, bigger cities, yes, does offer you lot of opportunities. But on the other side, smaller communities has lots other stuff to offer you. So
I'm sure the 3 of you today have changed lots of minds about, the whole idea of being in a smaller community and so many benefits that one can have. Hitesh, very quickly, is there a message that you have for anyone who is looking to start, say, a food business?
Yeah, I will say that whether you go in a small town or smaller community or larger community or bigger city, the only one thing you need to know that how much you dedicated to yourself, how much knowledge you have for yourself, and how much you are in it, in your idea and your business. You will get success, right? And another thing that keep in mind, and I want to advise to all of you, that if you are make success your business, you work hard to make it success, but to keep that success is even harder than you think.
yes.
So well said.
Be like that way, then and then you will keep your success, and always stay inspired and stay motivated, and keep motivated your team and yourself as always, is because every day is a learning opportunity, and everything happen in your life or in the world, it's all a learning opportunity. So it's always learning. Never lose your hope. You will make it and you will go into success one day.
Thank you, Hitesh. Such wise words. Lili?
Yes, my biggest advice for newcomers here is take it slowly. When you're growing a new business, the orders don't come in overnight. When we just opened bed and breakfast, we had one couple stay with us that first week, and that was about it. It's because you're a newcomer, because you don't have a big circle of friends here, you'd have to realize that it takes a bit of time to grow your business. So I find that my formula of working part-time or full-time and also growing your business on the side is a very stable way to start your business. You are creating roots while you're working here. You're learning about the culture, you're brushing up on your English, and you're seeing opportunities. If you see there's something that is not available in your community, you should you shouldn't get frustrated, because that means you got a new opportunity. If you don't see enough ethnic foods, or you don't see pet shops, or you don't see, for me, last month we created TEDx Morden. I was missing those big events, and I was so happy that we brought it to Morden.
That's amazing. I wish all the success to all three of you. Thank you for joining us today and for sharing your experiences. It's been such a pleasure talking to you. With that, we've come to the end of today's session. I can only hope that all those who joined us enjoyed hearing from our speakers and found their journeys inspiring. This was a session of Café New Canadians, and this brought to you by New Canadians TV Network. We have lots of sessions like this, and we have lots of content across different channels. We have a national TV show by the name of New Canadians. In fact, all three speakers today have been part of an episode, different episodes of different places within Canada. So you can watch us. If you're in Canada, you can watch us on Omni Television. You can also follow us on social media, subscribe to our newsletter, follow our content across YouTube and on our website. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you will stay connected and that we will see you in another session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shruti, for having us.